Hi, it's Red again, and continuing the discussion about what I'm learning about myself as I go on this writing journey of mine. And I'm learning quite a bit of things about both the writing process, but also just kind of how I work. And one of the things I won't say struggled with, but one of the things I've confronted this past week is, confidence in writing. For the first month, I've been working on short stories, and I've finished a couple of drafts of two different stories and working on a third. And, I felt pretty good about those. But I will say that as I get a little bit of distance from these stories, and I haven't gone back and looked at them in their current form yet, in any kind of with any kind of rigor. But I'm finding that I'm dreading that. Actually, I feel like maybe they're not going to be very good. And I'm not a particularly confident guy anyway. But it's interesting that for the first bit while I was writing these, I was feeling pretty confident about it. But that confidence has taken a hit this week, and I'm not really sure why that is. I mean, there's a lot going on in my life, as there's a lot going on in everyone's life. But I have noticed this week that I'm less sure that I'm going to make this writing thing work, and that there'll be something worthwhile at the end of it. Not for me necessarily, but for a reader, for my readers. I just this week I've just sort of felt like, what am I doing here? This is this may not work very well, and these stories may not be any good, and that's a little bit new for me. Not the lack of confidence. I've suffered for that. Suffered with that for quite some time, most of my life, and but it hadn't reared its head as it related to my writing until just this week. And so, interesting observation, I guess. I feel a little bit more settled about that. I'll look tomorrow. I'm scheduled to look at Invisible as the first draft, review that first draft, and kind of take a look, and we'll kind of see what comes out of that. I am trying to find writers groups, and absent any existing writers groups, thinking about establishing a writers group to help give feedback on the creative output for writers in the Missoula area. And I'm struggling to find people to do that. But I think those, that kind of feedback, that kind of support too. I mean, typically writers aren't jerks. When you're reviewing somebody's writing, people tend to be kind, which is not to say disingenuous, but they'll emphasize the strengths, and then help maybe identify where there's places that could be shored up. But I think that would help in the confidence area, and it will help me gauge other serious writers and be able to sort of benchmark my own writing against theirs, and kind of see how I stack up. But this week was a little bit tough on the old confidence meter, and I hope that I can regain some hit my stride again, and regain some of that confidence back, in the days and weeks ahead.